Welcome back to the StepBrothers. I'm Wesley Clark here with Andrew Hyden. We took a quick hiatus.
Little break.
Little break. I was off finishing my coverage of the DC Defenders. Andrew moved to the Twin Cities.
I did. Twin Cities, yeah. New spot there. So, life gets hectic at times, but we're back.
Yes, we are back. A lot of things to cover. Obviously, we are in the middle of the football off season. We covered the national championship, Michigan getting on top, and then we just had the NBA draft about a week ago. A couple Michigan players, Bruce Thornton in the mix there in the second round to start that off. But Andrew, how are you reflecting this March Madness and national championship for Michigan 7 months out?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, the high still has not gone away. It was the same way after the football natty in 2023. I'm sure it was for you just last year. It feels like a long time ago, but it's just last season. I still watched a bunch of tournament highlights from the tournament today while I was making dinner. So, it's still I'm definitely still thinking about it. Obviously, Dusty May and all that is not great. So now we're in, Mike Boynton mode and with the interim coach probably for the entire year roster retention mode. Didn't think, I did think Dusty May was the type that wanted to go to the NBA, not for any other reason than just the fact that he's super competitive and would want to see if he could do it. But I thought we had, at least a few more years with him. So that obviously sucks.
By heart, this is a little quiz for you. By heart, can you go through the teams that Michigan beat on the way to the championship?
Yeah, absolutely. Howard, St. Louis, Alabama, Tennessee, Arizona, UConn.
There you go. Just making sure you're locked in. But yeah, no, the Dusty May news wasn't shocking per se, but it was definitely kind of wowed after only having 1 year at Michigan. Obviously, he was able to reach the mountaintop, so it's a little easier to say goodbye when you did what you had to for the blue and maize. Amazing.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked at the timing of it. Especially in June. It's not typical for a college coach to leave a school when they're about to start summer workouts. But yeah, man, things move crazy fast. 1 second you think you got your coach for the future, and then there's that.
I'm not too sure with college basketball compared to college football. We have now seen the football coaches the winning football coaches have stayed. They have kind of stayed put in college football. I mean, college football is now becoming a professional league in a way. The grass doesn't get greener after Columbus. It doesn't get greener after Michigan and Alabama. It just doesn't. You see these guys, they try to go to the NFL and they fail. And
yeah,
we saw Nick Saban fail. He went to the Dolphins, wasn't good, and he went back to college and won several national championships.
And that's probably my biggest worry is having to watch. I hope Dusty May does well. I'm not going to call myself a Dusty May fan. I was when he was at Michigan, but I'm a Michigan fan. I'm not going to be following the Mavericks heavily just because Dusty May is there. But if he, for some reason fails in the NBA and ends up right back in college, it's going to be in another school, maybe Indiana, his alma mater. I mean, that'd be terrible to see him at another, college. So I'm just hoping that doesn't happen. And, the in college football, the coaches that win tend to stay, except at Michigan, right? Jim Harbaugh left after winning a national championship. Dusty May left after winning a national championship. You know who the last college coach to take an NBA job in basketball was before Dusty May?
No.
John Beilein from Michigan, 2019. So, yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not going to get into the whole...
that guy in between?
Juwan Howard?
Yeah.
He actually did get an NBA job, not a head coach job. Fell into it. But yeah, I think he's with the Heat or the Hawks. He's an assistant.
Yeah.
I don't really remember. But yeah, no, that was not good. But I'm not going to get into the whole athletic department thing, but great coaches seem to always leave Michigan under Ward Manual. Topic for another day. Anyway, NBA draft. let's hear your thoughts first. I know Bruce Thornton got drafted. Got to feel good for him. He had obviously an amazing college career. So what are your thoughts there?
I'm trying to think what day the draft was.
I think it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Well,
first round was Tuesday. Second round was Wednesday.
Yeah, Bruce Thornton. I mean, second round, 31st pick. That's to start off the second round. So I'm good for him. He was the only Buckeye ever to be a full-time team captain. All 4 years he was there. He was a team captain, which first time ever.
He was a captain as a freshman?
He was. 3-time
All-10.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe the team
believe you, but that's insane.
The team wasn't good, but he was also just very good coming out of high school. 3-time all Big Ten selection, second team honors, All-American selection, averaged just under 20 points. He actually last year averaged 19.9. He's gonna be good. I mean, he's going to Houston, so I'll maybe rock his jersey. Maybe get that. Go see a game when he's.
That would be a cool jersey.
Yeah. Deshaun Tate is from Ohio State. He's on the Rockets right now. Doesn't play too often, but now you get another Buckeye in Houston.
Did he sign? Do you know what type of deal he's on?
I don't know what type of deal he's on because technically he was drafted by the New York Knicks, and the trades don't. Okay. He's not technically a Rocket until the 6th. We are in July 2nd, July 3rd. So 3 more days until he's officially a Rocket. I mean, in his press conference and his media availability, he was wearing a Rockets jersey. I don't know why the NBA's format is so wanky with that. Just trade the pick like they do in the NFL. If you trade the pick, then you're just on the team. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I'm happy for him. I mean, I'm glad he got to stay at Ohio State all 4 years, and I'm glad he was able to get in the tournament. But it was time for him to move on. Like I'm glad he's going to get his chance in professional sports. Not sure how he fits on the Rockets team. They're a pretty tall team. I wonder how long he's gonna stay on the bench. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know a ton about the Rockets, to be honest with you. You know me, I'm a huge college basketball guy, not a huge NBA guy. But obviously, Amen Thompson is kind of their young star in the making. They still have Sengun. Yeah, I don't know how he fits. I don't know what their guard situation really looks like. Jalen Green's not there anymore, right?
Jalen Green, no, he got traded to
he's like Suns, maybe.
Knicks. Yeah. Well, so the starting,
I don't know how he fits, but I'm a believer. Like,
I'm just reading off the starting roster. Go ahead.
The thing I just I disagree with a lot of the way that NBA teams draft is teams just love to draft the project, right? The freshmen who maybe had a fine season, went 11th overall because they've got athleticism and maybe they average 10 points a game in a good conference. I think it's so underrated just drafting the dudes who are experienced, they're proven, like a guy like Bruce Thornton, like a guy like Walter Clayton Jr. last year. And obviously Walter Clayton was coming off of a national title. But still, if I were GM, I'd be much more looking to draft guys that I know are experienced, that I know they can plug in right away, rather than trying to take the 18-year-old project, unless it's a generate, obviously Cooper Flagg is different. DeBansa, Darren Peterson, those are different, level of talents, obviously. But
I mean, Bruce Thornton, I would not be surprised if, obviously I'm not in the, in the facility with him, but he seems like a guy who's very intelligent when it comes to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he plays, able to make space and make his team better. Amen Thompson is the guy I was thinking about. He's a guard. He's 6'7". Bruce Thornton's 6 foot.
He's more like a wing.
Reed Shepherd is 6'2". He's another guy that's a project as well for the Rockets. They definitely do not.
I think Bruce Thornton's already better than Reed Shepherd right now, probably.
Possible. It is possible. So I don't know how much they obviously don't care about the height. I don't know how much that matters in basketball as much. I mean, it just
good amount.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 6 foot is short. I mean, you saw Bruce Thornton in college. I mean, he had to create space.
It is. I mean, that's like Chris Paul.
Be able to score, right? Van Vliet, I think, is his comp.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
it's a fair comp.
And he's had a fine career. And I think Bruce Thornton can have that as well. I don't see any Hall of Fame potential, but definitely a playmaker.
Yeah, I could totally see him being the type of guy that can just stick around in the league, maybe on multiple different teams for, a decade.
And then gets in the coaching. I mean, I can totally see that.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
For sure. No, it's so I wasn't say Mike Conley. He's also a small guard as well that came out of Ohio State. But yeah, Bruce Thornton goes round 2, 31st pick to the Rockets. So you'll see him in Houston with Deshaun Tate. So 2 Buckeyes. But yeah, I'm glad to see it.
Yeah. All right. Well, on the Michigan side of things, obviously, Michigan showed out at the NBA draft. Not surprising with the talent they had on their team this year. Marez Johnson going 9th overall. That was the surprise, I think, for a lot of people. Obviously, Dusty May takes the Mavericks job. People thought, okay, is he going to take one of his Michigan guys? And
he tried.
Let me tell you, if it was going to be anyone, I would have thought it'd be Yaxel that he would take. Maybe Mara, because Mara's, really good and, freakishly tall, like kind of a unicorn. But Marez, probably the last one I would have expected. I know Dusty, if you haven't been following Michigan basketball for, since the summer, from the very get-go, Dusty talked about Marez and his work ethic and how he was just one of the most competitive guys he's ever coached. So I'm not totally surprised, but that, I guess, was probably the shock of the draft, honestly, is him going first out of those 3 Michigan guys. Then Yaxel Lendeborg going to the Warriors. I absolutely love that one. A lot of my family's from the Bay Area.
Yeah,
I follow the Warriors a little bit, even though I'm not a big NBA guy. But that's just a fun team for him to be on. We'll see if they win the LeBron James sweepstakes. That would be pretty insane. But obviously, they got Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler if he's healthy. It's a fun team, and I think Yaxel is set up to play right away. I think they're expecting him to be, to play a role. I think his first summer league game is actually in about an hour from when we're recording this, so we'll see how that goes.
So I saw a video of Dusty May getting mad at the draft. Can you explain that?
I think he was mad. So that's all gonna next one. Adai Mara got picked right after. Okay, so it was Marez, Yaxel, and Adai got picked in the.
I'm looking at
3
it.
all got picked in the same
9, 11,
12. Yeah. So 3 Michigan guys in the lottery, which is insane. I think they're the 5th school ever to put 3 guys in the lottery. But yeah, I think Dusty was mad because Adai went to the Thunder. And, they're also in the West. I think they're in the same division.
Yeah, he did. He went to Thunder.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yaxel to Golden State, like you said.
I think his words, like if I'm reading his lips on camera correctly, were like, he was like, damn. And then he was like, hell yeah. So I think he was happy for Adai, but mad they ended up on one of the juggernauts in the West. Because now, I mean, that's Adai Mara on the Thunder and against Wemby on the Spurs is going to be a hell of a matchup. So
100%. I mean, the West, the NBA right now, the way that it's spread out is interesting. That's why, I mean, LeBron, who is a huge Ohio State fan, from Akron, right outside Cleveland, you could see him coming back to Ohio. Big support. The Ohio State fans definitely want him back in Ohio. I would not be surprised if he's an NIL donor. He's probably a billionaire at this point.
Probably.
He's got to be. But yeah, I mean, the way that it's formatted and laid out, the West this is a great pickup for the Thunder.
Yeah, huge deal. I mean, this pick is still one of the ones from the, what was it? The Paul George trade, I think.
Which is interesting.
The Paul George for SGA trade, which is insane.
Because Paul George he was on the Clippers at the time.
No, he was
he went to the Clippers.
Thunder. SGA was on the Clippers. And SGA was like a bench player.
Well, it says that Mara's was via the LA Clippers. So I'm not sure if that's the same one. But the Thunder ended up getting the 17th pick as well. The guy from Stanford.
Oh, did they?
Ibuka.
Oh, Okorie.
Ibuka.
Yeah, no, he's tough.
Yeah, so they're already young, and now they get 2 guys, but yeah, including Mara. I mean, this is good. I mean, this is a good showing for Michigan. Dusty May obviously was really the man of the hour, getting 3 guys into the draft.
Yeah, And Namari Burnett signed a 10-day with the Raptors, an Exhibit 10, whatever they call it now. Roddy Gale, same thing with the Pistons, which is cool. Anytime a Michigan guy plays for a Detroit team, it's always cool. So we'll see what they can do in summer league. Maybe they create an opportunity for themselves. But yeah, I mean, when you look back on that team and you look at having all three of those guys go in the lottery and think back, you're like, no wonder that team was destined for a national championship with how loaded they were. And it's funny because so many people were like, oh, it's not going to work. You can't start three bigs. Who's this Adai Mara guy, right? He didn't even really play that much at UCLA. Crazy how things change. But anyway,
it's just got to be a huge back to the coaching, because I'm just thinking back. Ryan Day, when he was at the draft, he's seen Carnell, Arvell, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, McDonald. To see that many guys that you coach go into professional sports, so many people are talking about you as a coach. What a job you're doing at your university.
Yeah.
That's why you got the Mavs job. It was, you saw what he did at FAU, and then he immediately goes to win a national championship. Why wouldn't you sign him up?
Yeah.
Go make the mistake. Go. I would want to be the team that went to go get the championship coach who came out of nowhere in a way and got him. If he fails, then that's an anomaly in a way.
Yeah.
He's not good.
Yeah, no, go for the big fish. And obviously there'll be more basketball talk in the future. Obviously, with this coaching search, it seems like Mike Boynton Jr. will be the interim for the year. I know he and his camp are trying to get the interim tag removed. I don't know if that's fair or not. Yeah. Which it makes sense. For recruiting, you don't really want a year-long interim. And obviously he wants the interim tag removed. I don't think. I think a lot of Michigan fans, myself included, are weary because of the whole Sharon Moore interim to, internal hire situation.
Got PTSD.
Yeah. And Mike Boynton was the coach at Oklahoma State. Didn't really have a ton of success there. So we'll see. He's done a great job of being able to retain the roster so far. No one has announced they're intended to leave. 4 of their 5 projected starters are staying. Cadeau, McKinney, Mustafa Thiam, and JP Estrella all announced that they're staying. We'll see how much of their talented 2026 class stays. But anyway, moving on from that, let's talk some recruiting. This is prime. We're in July now, but June is prime official visit season, as some of these schools are trying to get their 2027 classes filled out. So I'll go over to you first. Obviously, some commitment news from Ohio State. Let's hear it.
Yeah, this time of year is big for Ohio State every single year. We got already Jed Harrison. You recognize the last name, the younger brother of Marvin Harrison. He's not next year's commit, but he just committed a couple of days ago. He's a 2028 class, and he has shut down recruiting.
Yeah, shocker.
Obviously, we've seen people shut down recruiting. Dylan Raiola shut down recruiting, and he ended up going to 7 different schools by the time he ended up at Oregon, and that was including high schools.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But Jameer Brown is the current top wide receiver for the Ohio State class. He committed back in 2024. When this type of recruiting in football, it lasts for a while. You see Marcus Factua, that the D line 5-star. He committed on the 29th, so just a couple of days ago, and then DJ Jacobs committed in December 29th, 2025. So it's a long time coming for football. These things span out for a long time, and Ohio State adds 2 5-stars, 1 wide receiver. That's gonna be next year. And then Marcus, the D lineman, who's a 5-star coming out of California. And then Caden Moss, a offensive tackle who's a 4-star, the second in the state. But DJ Jacobs is the number 1. He's the edge. He's the number 1. He's nation's number 1 recruit. He committed back in 2025. So that's so far so good for Ohio State. Now the overall recruiting ranking is 7th. I mean, that's usually they're around the 4 mark.
On what site?
247.
Okay.
So right now it goes A&M, Oregon, Notre Dame, Miami, Oklahoma, Texas, and then Ohio State. So
Dude, A&M's class is ridiculous, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have, yep.
They have like five stars.
Mark Matthews, the best, I guess the best offensive tackle in the country. And then, I mean, I'm just looking at it right now. A lot of 4 stars too. So 247, they give more 4 stars out. They don't give as many 5 stars out.
They have 6 5 stars. That's insane.
On 247, Miami has 4 5 stars. Dante Wright, the corner, and then the quarterback, Israel Adams. I mean, there's still time to go, but being in the top 10 it's always good for a program that is spending as much as Ohio State. I know recently the athletic director and the people running the foundation, which includes Cardell Jones, they said that Ohio State was going to try to be the first, I think it was a $200 million budget program, which, I mean, it's not surprising. I don't know where this money is coming from. That's why I mentioned LeBron earlier.
Coming from a lot of different places that
because the thing is,
people won't know about.
Right. I mean, Mark Cuban is a staple for IU. I'm not sure if there's I don't know the guy's name down in Texas Tech, but the guy who played football for them. He got into energy. I mean, he's a billionaire now. I'm not sure where that combination is going for Ohio State because I haven't heard about one guy really, carrying the team here with money.
Yeah.
But it's working out.
And in some schools, it's just more public. So I don't know.
I'm trying to. So Alabama, where's Alabama around here? Because I
don't think Alabama's class is very good.
Alabama is actually a program that doesn't have as much money. So Alabama is now 48th.
48th, bro. Northwestern's higher than them.
So yeah, programs that are higher. IU, who doesn't recruit very well. That's why I think they're going to take a huge dip. I think it's great for them that they won this year, but I think they're not going to be back for a while. Syracuse, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech is pretty high actually. Virginia Tech is 20. It's actually 15.
Yeah, they've been doing well.
James Franklin put in some work. They just got a QB a couple months ago.
Yeah, Peter Bork, former Michigan commit.
Yes, that's right. That is right. That's what I thought about when I saw that. And then, of course, Texas Tech is at 8. It's that money. I mean, I wonder if they're going to be trying to get they have no quarterback. But, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Things that I would want to improve. I mean, obviously, you want to be in the top 4. I don't see a quarterback on this, but I'm honestly not as worried about that because you got Chris
there was that commit, Brady Edmonds, I know, for Ohio State was like looking at UCLA. I don't know if he flipped his commitment or not.
No, he has not. I will say right now the quarterback room for Ohio State is packed with Tavon Sinclair, obviously Julian Sanders is going to be there. Those are 2 5 stars.
And Ohio State's still the favorite for, what's his name? DGG, right? David Gabriel Georges.
I'm not sure.
Running back.
Yeah, I know that he is. Yeah, it's going to be him. It's going to be Ohio State or Tennessee. I saw a report that he's going to be the first high school recruit to make $1 million at the running back position. Not sure if they're going to shove out that money. They didn't want to do it with Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson wanted Junkins money, and they said no, and then he ended up taking a little less.
Although, who knows? That was like 6 months ago, and we're in different times now.
Yeah, I feel like we still haven't covered really how we feel about the money, which we'll have to do another time. I'm kind of looking through what Ohio State needs. Obviously, the offensive line has been on the weaker side of things, and you have 3 commits. Justin looks like the top 10 coming to Ohio State. They always have good edges. They have 3. They have 1 5-star, 2 4-stars on the edge. I guess a corner. I guess a corner is what I would say is the whole for this recruiting class right now.
Yeah.
We can go into Michigan. I'm going to pull them up. But yeah, so far so good. Still a couple months.
Yeah, long way to signing day. I mean, that's really these commitments mean very little now until pen's put to paper.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember Chris Henry Jr. was the biggest. He committed to the last day. I mean, Brian Hartline goes to South Florida, and all of a sudden he is projected to go to Oregon. So who knows what they did to get him there? I mean, it ended up costing them 2 wide receivers because with Mylan Graham going to Notre Dame and a couple other guys leaving. But yeah.
Anyway, so moving to Michigan, the most recent commitment was just a few days ago. Former IU commit, top 100 corner, Monsana Torbert committed to Michigan from Ohio. So always feels good to get one out of your guys' backyard. And yeah, this is this is a top 100 kid. Obviously, I think Michigan's class in 2027 has been a lot of really good kind of diamonds in the rough, I would say. Some really good 3- and 4-star kids that I think their film is better than they're being given credit for, as I would say. I'm looking through some of the names here, but I think they're still missing those kind of big names, right? They missed out on, for right now, they missed out on Josh Dobson, who Michigan was a finalist for, 5-star corner, committed to South Carolina for whatever reason.
I don't know.
They were in on Marcus Facto for a while. Just some of those bigger names. Some big.
Was Michigan the last 3? I'm gonna pull up the last 3, 4.
No, they didn't make his final 3 or 4.
It was let's see if I can pull it up here. Texas, Georgia, and Ohio State. That was the final 3 for Factua. But go ahead.
Yeah, there are some kids in here that I think are really, even though they're 4-star kids, I think they're still underrated. Frederick Ford is a linebacker who is super violent and physical for a high schooler. Tyson Robinson, a running back, I'm super excited for. Tavares Harrington is a corner that committed recently, or I think he's committed as a safety. But I think the areas that I think need to be improved the most, and this is not just even a 2027 thing, this is just kind of the last few classes for Michigan, defensive line and wide receiver, or not wide receiver, surprisingly. Wide receiver always at Michigan the past couple of years, but linebacker. That's where they've been a little bit thin. They didn't really hit either of those positions great in the portal this year. Got a lot of kind of depth guys. I don't know how they're going to fit in. Missed out on some big names. But I think they are missing that 5-star name. Not that the stars really matter to these coaches that much, right? But last year it was Savion Hyder and Carter Meadows that led that class. Yeah. There was also a ton of talented guys along the D-line. Mikhail Blade, Titan Davis, name a few. And they just don't. I think their class right now, depending where you look, they're top 10 to 20 range, which is good. It's fine. But last year they were in the top, firmly in the top 10, top 7. And I think this year, if they want to get to that range, they're just going to have to do some work on signing day. Is what it is.
Yeah. So I see right now Michigan on 247 are at the 19 ranking, last year 12. I mean, it's a pretty big jump if you guys are able to get there. Obviously, you had to save on Travis Johnson, the 4-star wide receiver. Is he still there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been killing it too. I think he's going to play to start the year.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised there. All right. So I mean, you had a good 2026 class.
Yeah, 2026 and 2025 were great classes. So it's not
2025 was the best of his last
cupboards.
Past 3 years. Obviously, that's the one with Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
And I can see right here this tackle, Andrew Babalola. Yeah.
Babalola. Yeah.
To Haywood.
Yeah. I mean, Ty Haywood's not there anymore.
I mean,
but
he's not. Where is he? Texas Tech?
He's at Alabama.
Okay, I see he's from Denton, right out of Dallas.
Yeah, he ended up going to Alabama.
That's the thing. These things don't matter as much when we were growing up.
Yeah,
Even when we were both in the recruiting process for both of our sports, it's that has changed. I mean, that's not 5 years ago since when I was talking to coaches. Like, it is completely different.
Yeah. Oh no, it's different. It changes at snap of a finger. And that's why I'm not worried about Michigan's class, because this is going to go all the way up until signing day, right? They're not going to stop recruiting any of these committed guys. I don't even know how many kids are still uncommitted. It's not a ton of them. Last year, Michigan did work on signing day. Some of them ended up decommitting, right? Because signing day was right before the whole Sharon Moore thing the very next week.
Yep. I remember. February 4th is signing day. I mean, we have an entire season to get through. Who knows what's going to happen with
early signing period is November, whatever it is, or December, whatever it is, first week of December. And that's when most kids sign, especially the early enrollees.
Chris Henry did not sign until very late. That's a 5-star, so you never know. You can poach some people your way.
Yeah, things change very quickly. And yeah, I think obviously it's difficult too. When you come in, right, the football recruiting process is it spans a long period of time. Like you said, Kyle Whittingham just came in 6 months ago, right? Like, he doesn't him and his staff haven't really had the time to connect with a lot of these guys in the 2027 class that other schools have been recruiting for a longer period of time. And I know it's less about that now, but those connections still matter. And so I think no matter what, I'm going to be more interested in seeing what Kyle Whittingham does beyond this class rather than just what he's been able to make do in the past 6 months.
At this point, I mean, it is hard to keep track. I'm looking at the 2026 recruiting class for Ohio State. It's hard to keep up with who's still here in Columbus. I know I have seen great things about Legend Bay. He has apparently gained like 40 pounds. He's a running back. For mine, everyone, he was the one that was originally going to Tennessee.
Right. Couldn't sign his own NLI.
According to his mom. His mom signed his letter of intent, and his high school coach had to split up I don't want to say physical altercation between him and his mom, but they were definitely vulgar between each other, and the head coach of the high school football team had to split them up. He ended up going on social media saying this is not where I want to go, and then Tennessee, I mean, rightfully so, they let him sign somewhere else. What a crazy situation.
Yeah, crazy situation. Give me okay, while we're here, give me one player in Ohio State's class that you're especially excited about, not just the best name, but maybe a guy. It doesn't have to be like a complete diamond in the rough, but a gem that you don't think a lot of people are talking about that you think could be really good.
In 2026?
2027.
2027.
Well, give me both. Give me both.
Okay, I'll do 2027 first. Because I was about to say Jameer Brown, to me, hold on. I actually have speculation that he's going to end up somewhere else. I think he's going to kind of, yes, I think he'll flip. He's just not as committed as some of these guys at this point that I've seen in the past. Obviously, he committed when Brian Hartline was there. Like I said, he committed November 2024.
So he's going to South Florida, is what you're saying?
I don't know about that, but he might. He is from Ohio. Yeah. But I mean, when you have, that's the only reason why I would say he'd stay, because I mean, up north, anywhere in the country, obviously the best place to be as wide receiver, but LSU is going to be pushing a bunch of money to him, and they're trying to get better with Lane Kiffin. From this class, I mean, it's just so tough because these guys might dip. I'll probably say Marcus Factua, the 5-star D lineman who committed today, 6'6", 275, or committed a couple days ago. It's so great. Ohio State is used to 5-star wide receivers, 5-star quarterbacks. but to get a D lineman, losing K McDonald, on that D line we had Jack Stewart, JTT, the Boza brothers. So it's good to see, Factua in there, and also DJ Jacobs, who's the nation's #1 commit. But to get another guy on the D line of that caliber, I'm excited for.
Yeah. For 2026, man. D line, being able to get guys on the D line, especially in high school when you can kind of mold them your own way. Obviously, the D line is not a position where they play a lot as freshmen usually. So yeah, I think D line recruiting is huge in the high school ranks. Michigan has, they have Xavier Muhammad is a 4-star D lineman, their best of the class. But yeah, I would still like to see them beef it up a little bit. I'll ask you the same thing for 2026, but I want to give my 2027 first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Quentin Burrell, wide receiver from Chicago. He's a 4-star kid. I really think he could be a 5-star kid. I really like his film a lot. I think he's elite. I don't think a lot of people are talking about him, but I think he's the type of guy that could be underrated and could be in kind of a similar to Travis Johnson, where you're like, oh yeah, an elite receiver, obviously great pickup, but then he gets to campus and you're kind of like Andrew Marsh was, right? He wasn't a 5-star kid, but starts making some noise
neither
early.
was Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, so I think he's a guy that can make noise. And I will say, Dakota Garan is a guy from Michigan, Harper Woods, I think, 5-star receiver, super elite. He's committed to Oregon. He's committed there maybe in the last week, pretty recently. I think Michigan still has a shot with him before signing day. He's been on, I think, over 30 visits to Michigan. I mean, it's right in his backyard. I know he loves Ann Arbor. I know the coaching staff has really been trying to build a relationship with him. I think he just has to see this year some improvement in the wide receiver room in terms of production, which is fair. But I think if they can do that, then they have a real shot to add that there. So
yeah, it's always nice to fantasize about the wide receiver position. What they can do for the offense. One guy that I'm in kind of in the D line mode, Xavier Muhammad, who is probably someone else that you're looking at from that class from South Houston, Texas.
Yeah,
he could. I could see him being pretty good as well.
Yeah, he's a beast.
You guys,
Larry Black. Larry Black just came in from Vanderbilt. He's already been. I think he's going to be a really good recruiter. Already has been. But yeah, so I think. Yeah, like I said, I think these relationships just take time, and I trust the staff. The one thing I will say that I'm pleased with is a lot of people were worried that Kyle Whittingham and his staff would come in and not be able to adjust really to more of national recruiting, right? Maybe they only want to go after Utah guys from the state of Utah, or they don't know how to go after the big fish. I don't think that's true at all. You can see that they've been recruiting guys from all over. They haven't really landed the big fish, right? I mean, Jakari Lipsey, offensive tackle, is probably the closest thing in the class to a 5-star right now. But that doesn't mean they're not headhunting. So I think they have what it takes to recruit at a high level.
I'm looking at this year's wide receiver class.
For who?
TK for just for the entire class. TK Keys going to Tennessee. Chris Henry is the one who we were talking about going to Ohio State. Calvin Russell, he's going to Syracuse. I know Caden Dixon.
Calvin Russell. Calvin Russell, if you remember, was the one we were watching the commitment show together, where he was between Michigan and.
Because is he also a corner?
He's a receiver.
He's also playing basketball, isn't he?
I think so. But he actually tore his Achilles in spring practice. I heard.
I do remember that because I just thought he was just going to Michigan. Because why would you go to Syracuse? I mean, to see Syracuse. I'll just quickly read off these programs: Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, USC, Miami, Florida, LSU, and then in the mix is Syracuse at number 3, behind Ohio State and Tennessee.
Yeah, I think he's had a great relationship with Fran Brown. I think he loves Fran Brown. That was I don't know too much else about that recruitment.
Yeah, no, Caden Dixon Wyatt, he was originally Ohio State commit, ended up flipping to USC. There was another one who also flipped, but I mean, it's so tough when going to Ohio State as a wide receiver. It's kind of impossible. There's only so much money that they're going to give you because you still have Jeremiah Smith, you have Brandon Ennis, and you have Chris Henry, who's might play. But for moving on to our 2026, Legend Bay. I'm actually because of a story and what I've been hearing, people who are in the Woody and able to go to practices and media availability. This is a guy who's gained a ton of weight. He's talked about his passion to be in Columbus. We obviously saw that. He's going out of his way to flip his commitment to Tennessee, telling his mom he wants to go to Ohio State. That's it. So that is he wants to be a Buckeye. So I'm curious to see how he plays. I hope he gets he's considered running back. He played some quarterback, but obviously that's not going to happen. But he'll be a Braxton Miller, a halfback type position. So I'm curious to see how he does.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking through right now. Obviously, this class changed a lot. A lot of these guys, not a lot, but there were a few guys. This class is smaller than it was just because after the Shrun Moore thing, Brady Marchese left the class. Some other guys left the class. If I'm not, obviously, Savion Hyder, I'm most excited for, but I feel like that's too. That's
why I didn't go with.
That's not fooling anyone. I think he could be one of the best running backs in the country this year. I think Malachi Lee is one. There's just a lot of there's a lot of quality offensive line talent at Michigan right now. But Malachi Lee coming in as a freshman, he's like 6'8", 350 already coming in as a freshman. I think he could be that sixth offensive lineman at times coming in the game. I think he's physically ready, and I think he's he's big. Like he's been featured in some of the videos that like all schools.
Malachi Lee.
Yeah, Malachi Lee.
For some reason, I can't find his name.
All the all the schools post like some practice footage and guys just like run drills, guys in the weight room, whatever. Malachi Lee just stands out like that. He is a monster. So I'm excited for him. Carter Meadows is still a 5-star. I know I'm giving you a 5-star name, but I still think not enough people talk about him. He's 6'6", coming off the edge, freak athlete, was a really good basketball player also. The concern for him was that he was 225 when he signed to Michigan. So people thought, okay, he's not going to be physically ready for a while. But he shows up to campus and he's over 250 already.
Yeah.
So he's close to being able to play. I mean, I think there's a very real chance he's coming in on third downs to rush the quarterback this year.
I'm looking at Malachi Lee now. Man, 36-inch arm length, wingspan roughly 6'11".
Yeah, dude, he's a freak.
6'7", 350. And you're saying that he's got speed too? That's pretty good.
I didn't say it's speed.
Oh, okay.
I said he's a monster.
He's probably moving. I mean, he's from Hawaii. Yeah, this is Michigan.
Yeah, no, I mean he's not like in the mud. I mean, I wouldn't call him fast. But he's maybe fast for 350. Not a bad athlete.
You should use him as a where Caden Proctor score some TDs.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be happening this year. Probably not, but yeah.
I mean, Michigan's always known for. Okay, if you want, let's compare Ohio State wide receiver. What they do at wide receiver. Second to nobody. What would you say that position is for Michigan? Because right now I'd be thinking it's the O-line.
Good question. I don't know if I'd say O-line. Edge comes to mind. Some of the guys they've had. Corner, actually, they've had a lot of really good corners. As I've actually seen, I saw some tweets about this. Yeah, corner, tight ends. In terms of how they're producing the NFL. But yeah, it's definitely not as clear of an answer as like, oh yeah, Ohio State wide receiver U, right? There's some that running back very recently. Michigan has some elite running backs.
For another position, I'm trying to think around the country. Maybe Alabama quarterbacks would be equivalent to Ohio State wide receivers. Tua, I know they're not Super Bowl winning. Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah, but still, I mean, is that
Mac
really
Jones.
the qualifier?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, if you're just able to actually be a starter and produce in the NFL, I'd probably say the equivalent would be that. Trying to think, I don't know if anything. I mean, obviously you can say LSU wide receivers, but that's dipped a little bit since the championship.
Yeah, but definitely has.
I guess Malik Neighbors is the most recent one who got hurt last year. But yeah, I mean,
he was in the same class as what was his name? Brian
Robinson?
Maybe. I don't know. There's another receiver that played alongside me. So first rounder.
Malik Neighbors was 2023.
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, Brian Thomas, Brian Robinson. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas, and he's on the Jags. Yeah, he's on the Jags. Yeah, that's who you're thinking of. 23. Yeah, I mean, I think that both obviously a long way to go for both the Ohio State Michigan class. I know last year, both of them, I think you guys moved up to 12. Yeah, I don't think. Well, you guys actually dipped. Would you guys dip from 8 to 12? It was something like that after Sharon Moore.
Yeah, we were firmly in the top 10 for sure, and then some guys.
I think
got released from their letters of intent.
Ohio State ended up being number 2, according to 247. But again, I cannot emphasize enough that this does not matter as much. Look what Indiana did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you can spend money in the transfer portal and get a quarterback who's been starting for 3 years, then you could end up all of a sudden being from 6-6 to winning 10 games. I mean, we've seen this now.
Yep. It's not more than one way to skin the cat.
If you don't win the portal, I mean, there's limited teams who Ohio State doesn't necessarily, from coming from my end, Ohio State doesn't need to win the portal because the players are able to develop. But if you're in the mix, such as a Virginia Tech, if you don't win the portal, you're not going anywhere.
Most schools don't have the level of talent backfilled already that Ohio State and Georgia do. That's why they don't really need to win the portal. But most schools don't have that.
No, exactly.
Most schools don't have 5 stars just sitting on the sidelines waiting to go in.
I know. The 2024 Ohio State defense. I mean, they all got drafted last year. 11 draft picks. I want to say most of them were at Ohio State for more than 2 years. I mean, Igmanosin came from Ole Miss, but these guys, they stayed at Ohio State. But it's just the name of the game now. If you don't win the portal, you ain't going nowhere. But
yeah, true.
That's all I got. This is good.
That's all I got.
Yeah, so obviously NBA draft. Good to be back. We don't have. I mean, there's gonna be stuff going on with the NBA. Obviously, big stuff happening. With Jaylen Brown. Not necessarily anything with Ohio State, Michigan, but 3 guys for Michigan going in the first round. Bruce Thornton, starts the round 2. Glad to see him. Hopefully, he can succeed in H-Town. And I think next month starts college football. Technically, August.
Yeah, week 0 I think is the 30 or 29th.
Yeah, so next month we have college football. So we are not too far away until
not
the
too
best
far
time of the year. The best time of the year, also the most stressful. It's going to start soon. Yeah. I'm going to start thinking about it.
Week 1 for you is going to be stressful. Week 1 for me not going to be as stressful.
I think they play Ball State. Think about week 2.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking because the Texas game was week 1 last year.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad it's not this year. Get some gameplay under their feet before they have to go down to Austin. Yeah, I'm thinking about going. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That'd be a fun one.
Would be. All righty. Well, that's it.
All right.
We'll be back next week, same time, and talk more about Ohio State football, Michigan football recruitment. See if anything else breaks. Big stuff that happened this year with both universities, and of course the NBA draft that happened a little bit over a week ago. But yeah, thanks for watching. Go follow us on TikTok, X, and you gotta start making more TikToks.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Maybe I will. We'll see.
I gave you a mini mic.
You did. I do have the mini mic. It's a nice mini mic.
You guys start using it.
Maybe I'll get back to it. Maybe during the season, especially. There's just not a lot to talk about right now. You know, it's more difficult.
You could do just. I mean, you could go through the draft picks because you got to see them. You got to see them in Chicago, Elite Eight, right? So you can break that down.
Yeah, against Tennessee.
Yeah, that'll be good videos. But yeah, go watch us. TikTok, Twitter, like I said, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.